Part 3. Morning! Marinette yawned and rubbed her eyes. She'd always been the latest sleeper out of all of her friends, but it seemed like that because of last night's events, they were all tired enough to join her in slumbering until 10 a.m. "I think I'll make pancakes," Ollie announced. "Great idea. We have some blueberries and strawberries in the fridge," Julica said tiredly. "Thanks, Alia," Rose chirped. The little blonde was the first awake, which made sense, since she had a ton of energy and fell asleep first. Marinette sat up from the home theater chair she had slept in and yawned again. "What do you think we should do today?" Marinette asked. Julica buzzed. "I think we can just go and try it and, figure it out," the black and purple-haired girl said, getting off of the chair. "Should we swim? If it's super hot outside," Marinette said. Rose nodded excitedly. "Good idea, May," she said. Marinette searched around for her phone, finding it in the crook of the chair and powered it on. "Dang, should have powered it," she mumbled to herself. She clicked into the weather app and looked at the forecast. "Ah, look here. 73 to 85. Perfect summer swimming weather," Marinette smiled. After a good 10 minutes, the last 3 girls left in the theater went up to the kitchen where Alia was flipping pancakes. "Chef Alia at your service," the brunette joked when her friends oohed at her. The plate was being stacked high with delicious-smelling pancakes that the girls couldn't wait to devour. "I'm down to make lunch," Julica said, putting plates down at the dinner table. "Awesome! I'll handle dinner." Marinette set out glasses and a pitcher of water and a bottle of juice and a jug of milk on the table. "And I'll do breakfast, and then we can go from there," Rose said excitedly. "Love the idea," Alia called. She had finished the last pancake and turned off the stovetop and began to walk towards the set table and with the glorious fluffy pancakes. "This is the best idea we've ever had," Rose mused. "I mean, a 1-week-long sleepover with no parents? What is better?" Alia snorted. "Nothing. And you guys are lucky I turned 16 last week." Her friends all chimed in agreement. If no one was 16, they couldn't go anywhere, and that wasn't ideal. "Did I die in my sleep and end up in heaven?" a voice called out from the hallway. It was probably Luca. Adrientte was mostly hungover and still sleeping, even at 10:42 in the morning. "I'm serious," he said again. Julica rolled her eyes, took a seat at the table, and snagged a big blueberry pancake off the top of the stack. "No, Luca, I cooked breakfast," Alia called out. Julica's twin stood at the front of the table and took in a deep breath. "Thank God. I want to live. Also, yay, pancakes," he said, sitting at an empty table. "And here I thought I'd never get pancakes," he sighed wistfully at the strawberry one he had on his plate. All the girls laughed. "I don't get why you hate making pancakes, Jay." Alia shook her head. Julica shrugged. "I can't tell you why," she replied. "They're good, but I just hate the process. And the fact that you guys are here to help me with all the food is great, because someone here can't cook." She flickered her eyes towards her brother. Luca let out an aspirated sigh. "I get it. I'll burn the house down. Give me a break." The blue and black-haired boy cried. Rose giggled. "And that's why you're on cleaning duties," she said, but he only responded in grumbles. "By the way, how's May's boyfriend?" Alia said with a cheeky smile, earning a hit from Marinette. Luca shrugged but kept a smirk on his face. "Oh, I don't know. I just walked in and he was still sleeping. But the water's gone and the medicine too, so fine, I guess." Luca took another bite of the pancake. Marinette hummed. "I guess he'll be sleeping for a while. That much alcohol will give you a bad hangover. Even if it's not your first blackout drunk type experience, she said. Luca bobbed his head up and down. Oh, May, what are you making for dinner? Rose asked, cleaning off her plate and heading to the sink. I'm thinking like honey mustard chicken with mashed potatoes, asparagus, and the bread I made yesterday, Marinette said. Julica cooed. That sounds so good. Marinette smiled brightly at her. I hope it will be, Marinette mused. So, I have no chance of making my famous mac and cheese? Luca whined. Julica rolled her eyes and flicked her brother on the head. It's famous for a bad reason, she commented with a smile, earning a scowl from her brother as he rubbed where she had flicked him. Suddenly, a loud groan and clomping sounds started coming closer. I think the monster has risen, Alia said lowly, earning a laugh from her friends and even Luca, who had grabbed another pancake. Hey, save some for the guests, Julica hissed at him. Luca rolled his eyes at her. Yo, dude, Luca called. Adrian grimaced in response, and he slugged his way to the table, falling into the last empty chair. I think something hit my head, the blonde groaned. Marinette pursed her lips to a side and flew up to get a glass of water for him. Like maybe a sledgehammer, Adrian continued. Marinette set the glass down in front of him. He took it immediately, but didn't even stop to look up from rubbing his eyes to see who had gifted him the water. Well, you got pancakes for breakfast, and Jules is going to make lunch, and May's got dinner on lockdown. Just chill today, since I bet last night was enough for a week, Luca said, patting his friend on the back. Thanks, Adrian grunted, taking a small bite of the pancake. Julica looked at him curiously. Adrian, do you even know what happened last night? She asked. Adrian stayed still for a few seconds before putting 2 fingers on his chin and crinkling his eyes in thought. I remember going to Owen's house, and then I was there for a while, and it's all fuzzy and blurry. I just remember waking up and seeing that water and sign and did what it told me to do and fell back asleep, and now here I am, he said. Everyone else looked at each other, exchanging looks of concern and silent conversations. Adrian, do you not remember anything else? Just going to the party and then coming here? Alia said tentatively. Adrian looked at her suspiciously and shook his head slowly. Oh, Lord, Marinette whispered. You got drunk, Luca said bluntly. Adrian dropped his fork and it clattered onto the plate. Everyone was silent. The wheels started turning in his head and Adrian processed what Luca said. What? He cried out. Julica hit her twin. You do realize there are nicer ways to say that, she hissed. Luca glared back at her. I don't, I never, Adrian began to mutter to himself. Adrian? Alia waved her hands in front of his face, but he didn't react. Oh goodness, did he break? Rose squealed. Adrian paid no attention to the commotion that was Julica, Alia, Rose, and Marinette frantically trying to get him back into reality. Oh goodness, what do we do? Rose shrieked worriedly. Luca panicked and looked around and then spotted the pool. Throw him in the pool, he offered up. Then all the girls' mouths dropped. No! Marinette clapped her hands together, shutting the idea down real fast. You do not ever throw someone in a pool if they detach from reality, Marinette lectured him. Julica crashed her head onto the table. I'm glad I have these working brain cells, but for the love of God, Luca, just take some so you stop doing these dumb things. Or, thinking them. Julica and her brother got into a mild sibling screaming match, making Marinette groan and cover her ears. She grimaced at Alia and Rose, who copied her expression. When the yelling died down, Adrian cut through the silence. Why are you guys yelling? He asked innocently. Rose gasped. We thought you broke, she said. Adrian sent her a confused look. Can we all just go swimming and, like, ignore everything? Luca asked. The girls looked at him silently. He braced himself for another hit, but it didn't come. Honestly, that sounds like the move right about now, Julika said, getting up, followed by Alia, Rose, and Marinette. Adrienne looked at Luca, who shrugged and said, "Grab your swim trunks and throw them on." The blonde obliged in a very confused state, but nonetheless followed what he was told. This can't be real, Adrienne said, staring down at Luca's phone. Luca was showing him a video from the previous night, and oh boy, was he drunk! It is. What did you do at that party? Luca asked. Adrienne shook his head. No idea. The Adrienne in the video crashed down onto the black-haired girl, pinning her to the ground. His eyes went wide when he heard himself basically sobbing. Oh God, he said, shocked. Luca closed the phone and then began to drag Adrienne up and out of the chair. Bro, let's go. A quick 30 minutes later, Marinette and her friends were splashing happily in the water. I swear, I will drown you, Alia said threateningly to Rose, who was giggling and swimming very fast away. If you catch me, the young blonde called behind her. Marinette and Julika laughed on the sides as they watched their friends throwing waves of water at each other. I'm gonna go make some lemonade, Marinette decided, getting out of the pool. Ooh, can you make strawberry? Rose cried, and Marinette laughed and said that she would. Hey, Marinette heard a voice say behind her. Turning around, she smiled gently at the blonde who was sitting on a bar stool. I just wanted to say thank you for taking care of me last night, Adrienne said sheepishly. It's no problem. Marinette waved it off and filled up a pitcher with water and the inner tube with ice and placed that in the freezer. You know, I'm very surprised you drank so much. You never struck me as a drinker, she mused, cutting up lemons. He awkwardly laughed. Yeah, that's because I don't, he explained. Marinette turned around and raised an eyebrow at him, silently asking him to elaborate. Some of the guys just somehow convinced me to drink a wine cooler, and then apparently a line of shots. Adrienne rubbed the corner of his left eye. Wasn't having a good day anyway, so I guess that makes sense, he sighed. Marinette frowned slightly, giving him a sympathetic look. Adrienne seemed to look at something far away in the distance, even though they were in a house with opaque walls. You'd think I stopped caring by now when Chloe gets a new boyfriend, but I can't help it. I'm over her and all, of course. It just sucks that I still get jealous or mad or something whenever there's a new guy in the picture. Marinette was silent for a second. It wasn't like she'd ever been in a relationship. She didn't exactly know what to tell him. Well, she started slowly. That's okay. You care about her, and it was an important relationship for you. Your first long-term one, that is. It's okay to still care, Marinette told him. His expression turned to shock. How do you know I've had other girlfriends? As far as everyone's concerned, it's just Chloe, he asked. Marinette rolled her eyes, but a smile played on her lips. You do know I went to school with you, right? She laughed. Adrienne shook his head. Huh. Apparently he hadn't changed from that same oblivious, silly, loud, fun-loving, and athletic boy that he was years and years ago. That's fine. I didn't think you would remember. Marinette stirred some sugar into the slices of strawberry to make strawberry sauce, so that Rose would have her pink lemonade that she always wanted. Sorry, you think I remember a person I schooled with all my life, Adrienne said sheepishly. Marinette shook her head and waved off his concern. It's fine. We are never that close of friends anyways, Marinette said kindly. Adrienne blinked and looked at her for a minute. Can we be friends now? He asked tentatively. Marinette cocked her head and smiled at him. She walked a couple steps over to the bar and leaned over the counter to see if he was kidding or not. He wasn't. Sure. She handed him a glass of lemonade and hit it gently with the pitcher. I've already seen you drunk and took care of you. A sober you shouldn't be that hard to deal with, she giggled. To our new friendship that really should have started years ago, Marinette joked. Adrian smiled and nodded his head in agreement. In that moment, seeing the sun shine on Marinette's face, the way she smiled, the corner of her eyes crinkling slightly, he decided that his previous nickname for her would still stand.